Bitcoin was created as a checks and balance against the monetary systems that we have currently. And I think that's one way we can fight corruption.
This is the Mooncast.
And we are live.
Yes, sir. Yes,
in Kigali, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm here with my best friend for how long, bro? It's been what, 20 years?
Yeah. Close to we met like at 13.
Bro, it's almost been 20 years.
Yeah. It'll be 20 years in 2020.
2026, right?
26, yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a crazy special moment. I have my best friend for almost 2 decades now. Yeah. We grew up together in Atlanta. Yeah. Cedric, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience? Let them know who you are, what you're about.
Yeah, man. So my name is Cedric. I'm currently residing in Rwanda. I was born here. I was raised in the States, and then I came back in 2011. And that's where I've been this whole time. You know, just working. You know, I'm an entrepreneur, but at the same time, I'm also an ICT teacher. I work in logistics as well, procurement. And yeah, man, I just like to learn. Like my guy right here, Idiaki, you know, he's one of the biggest people who inspired me to like really level up and always challenge myself, you know, to the full potential, because that's what he represents, man. Somebody who's always trying to get better, you know, and yeah, man. So linking up like this after it
was been 12 years, right?
12 years, yeah. 12 years of since we graduated high school. Yeah, back in 2011. Yeah.
Damn, man. It's crazy, man. I can't even, for me, it's really like it's one of these moments where like I feel like it shouldn't happen, but somehow we end up glitching in the matrix. Because I actually wasn't gonna come, and it was like last minute, you know, I was telling you, I was like, yo, I'm going to New York. Yeah. And I was like, you know what, let me stop. Because you've been talking about Rwanda for a minute, man, telling me to come. And man, oh man, was I not disappointed when I came, bro. Like, my God. Like, as soon as I landed on the airport and I saw how chill and relaxed everybody was, then the air quality with the greenery and everything, bro, blew my mind, you know? And you know, because, you know, we went to the Kendrick concert, right?
Yes.
And this for me was like one of those moments where I was like, man, I had never seen that many Black people gathered up all at the same time at a venue. And it was completely peaceful, calm, everybody having good positive vibes, good energy, turning up, not trying to fight each other, not trying to flex, all trying to help each other and spread positive energy. So that's one thing that I would say that I noticed about the country that's a lot different. And it's partly due to the culture, right?
Yeah. So Rwandan culture is like this, man. Like for us, we really take things one day at a time. Like we wake up, we know like we've set our goals out, but it's not to the point where, you know, we're in a competition with our brothers, you know, because here, I think it might be due to something that, you know, we had a genocide back in 1994. Yeah. And we had two clans that clashed and, you know, that really separated us. So now, like, building back up the country, we all come unified together as one. Yeah. And now it's something that, like, everybody respects one another. That's why, like I said, like, that's why you'll never see anything of fights. There's no fights here. There's no arguments. Yeah. Have you even an argument?
Not even an argument. Like, that's what's crazy, man. People don't raise their voice here. It's one of the most peaceful places I've ever been. I call it the Switzerland of Africa. Yeah, because it's surrounded by the hills. And then you have the peacefulness. And then, you know, you have the neutrality. You know, they don't really get too much into that. I think the geopolitics and everything, and too as well. Just want to be unbothered and just super, super chill, relaxed. And yeah, I wanted to switch over a little bit because we spoke a little bit about this because a lot of my viewers, they want to know about the dating culture. Yeah. And we want to get into it because I haven't seen. I don't know what to say, because usually when I'm in Germany, you can clearly see that the women kind of run the relationship, like even from a distance, just by how they act, how the men act. It's more, I call it a matriarchy. You know, when I was in Germany, I lived there for 5 years. So I think the woman, even if you look Angela Merkel, is kind of like the face. You know, it's a woman that's the face and not a man. So I wanted to ask you, how is it in regards to the dynamics with dating? In regards to, first of all, what's the best possible approach to talk to a Rwandanese woman? And is it through social media apps? Is it through talking in real life? Is it through like social groups? Like having to know a person that's within her social group to get to know her? Like, how does that work?
It really just depends on the girl and her class, like what kind of stage she's in. Because like girls here, like the more like elite, like girls are sort of hard to get to.
What do you mean hard to like get access to, or hard to talk to?
Both.
Really?
Like, yeah. There's like for example, so there's some elite schools here, like Green Hills Academy is elite school where a lot of the rich kids go there.
Yeah.
And now these kids, they're always protected.
Yeah.
They wake up in the morning, they're driven and by, you know, they have chauffeurs who drive them to school every day.
Yeah.
So for like an average person, it's hard to get access to that girl because you're gonna notice that she's gonna be with an older person, like I don't know if it's like their uncle or maybe just like a regular driver.
Yeah.
But you know, in order to talk to them, it's gonna be a bit difficult. But now there's other girls as well. The regular average girl, you can talk to her, but it's not. It also depends on how you talk to them, because one thing I've noticed about Rwanda compared to different countries that I've been around in Africa and also the States.
Yeah.
Rwandan girls are somehow they really focus on how the sort of language that someone uses, or the sort of tone. Like it's not one of those things. They're not one of those the type of people who you can just talk to them just however you feel like. So it's also a thing of sort of giving them their respect, you know, respecting them as a lady, as a woman, which is a bit different because American culture, I've seen girls wanting to be called bitches. Literally, like her man comes like, "Yo, you a bad bitch."
Yeah, they actually call each other that. Yeah, the girls call each other,
and
that.
The girl feels good about it. Like, no, Rwandan girls, they won't, they won't take that. They won't
put up with that type of stuff.
Yeah, they won't put up with it, and it's just like one of those things of just being shown manners. Like they they really they like someone who has manners, you know, someone who respects them as a woman, knows that they're a lady, and treats them right, which makes complete sense. Yeah, because you know, the true African culture is there are queens. You know, we're kings. There are queens. So if you're claiming you have a queen, but yet you're calling her a bitch, it's just, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's a lot of it goes with the way you approach the females, and and as far as being able to get access to them, it's just a level of like who their parents are. That's also another thing I should mention. Class like is also big here in Rwanda, and I'm sure it's probably like in a lot of developing countries. Like your status, you know, who your parents are, what did you study, you know, did you finish school, you know, all these things.
That matters a lot.
That matters. So you can find like a girl, she's high in the hierarchy, like she's up there because of her parents. Yeah. Right. She comes from a wealthy family, but now she's not really focused or determined or even have any pursuits. She doesn't have any ambition whatsoever. Yeah. And somebody who's like made something for themselves will pick to go out and be with that girl just based on who her parents are. Wow. Not really caring for what the girl's going to bring to you as as a man, like you want somebody who's gonna, help you, build you, and add value. So I noticed that many times, and but like some people are just stuck in their old ways, and it's really hard to sort of change that mentality, that sort of thinking.
What about the feminism? Is it big here in Rwanda?
Yeah, so actually with Rwanda, they really inspire for girls to be in the working field, like the parliament, the Rwandan parliament is 60% female.
Yeah, I heard that. I read that. Yeah.
So like they want girls out there, like the CEO of Rwanda Air is a female. There's a bunch of female CEOs with the big companies here, like the list goes on and on. But so they empower girls. They have this program. As soon as students finish high school, they put them like in this sort of like boot camp thing. And you see girls are in there. A lot of girls are in there as well. So like I think when if you see a girl like in boot camp, like you can tell like this girl's gonna come out to be someone like really serious. Like so those sort of things, like I feel, to me, like I think that it empowers females a lot, and and then of course media. We have a lot of socialites in Rwanda, and these girls are doing these things on their own. It's not like they're getting sponsored by they're they got sugar daddies. These girls are just like getting out there. They're on their grind.
Entrepreneurial.
Very much so.
What about the hookup culture? Is that a thing here?
Like hookup, like
one night stands and all that stuff.
Man, with one night stands, that's for sure. That's everywhere in the world, I believe. But but like I said, like Rwandan girls, like if you want a nice girl, like a girl who really cares about herself, respects herself, she's not gonna let you sleep with her on the first night. Now, the girl probably gonna let you sleep with her is probably okay. This is not including prostitutes, right?
Of course.
So like those girls, like they're gonna be very hard to come by, but anything can happen. So
And what about in terms of when you get in a relationship? How is the dynamic usually? Is it more traditional or is it more liberal? Like in regards to the women fall more into a traditional role, or are they more liberal, like more like westernized? Like how's it usually?
So that will just depend on based off how she was brought up.
Okay.
Like for example, my girlfriend, she was brought up like with the sense that her role as a wife or even as a girlfriend is just to make sure that her husband or her boyfriend is happy at all times. Nothing else. Like so and for some people that's comfortable, I feel very comfortable with her because I've seen that as I grew up. Right? Because my mom was the same way. Her role was just to please my dad, make sure that he's happy. And so but then you have other girls who are educated, and then so I guess they'll be the ones who are more liberal in that sense, right? Because for them, they do want to please their husband, but at the same time they want to also make sure that they can hold their own. If anything happens whatsoever, they can hold their own. And so that's why they work to make the money. But now this is the thing, a lot of guys in Rwanda, they're intimidated by that.
Really?
So you'll find a lot of these females, they start making money at a young age. Like
what do you say young age? What do you mean?
For example, I dated a girl back when, a couple of years back. She was 10 years older than me. I was 19, she was 30. And this girl was loaded. Loaded. I'm talking like, because she worked with the UN.
Wow. Okay.
She worked with the UN, so she would come pick me up, those UN SUVs with the license plate. And I was like, wow. And imagine, I'm 19, I just got into the country. And I'm just witnessing this. But then now this is the thing, like she really helped me grow because most of the things that, she would be doing, she would find that I haven't reached that level yet. And she'll be like, okay, why do you not have a bank account yet? You need to set that up. Like, why do you not have this and that? And she would like and what I loved about it, she would literally take me through those processes. Like, okay, you know what? We're gonna take you to the bank today. We're gonna you're gonna set up a bank account.
Yeah.
All right. You're gonna do this. You're gonna get you this, that, and third. And so it's one of those things. Like when I noticed that, that's when I was like, okay, girls out here are being different.
They're the States. So it's crazy, man. Like I really noticed that the culture here, the women, they tend to be a lot more intelligent. From what I've seen. I mean, even your sister, if you look at both your sisters, actually, one of them, she runs your dad's company. The other one is like what she's doing. A pharmacist. She's a pharmacist, right? In the States. So, I mean, I see that. As soon as I got here, I noticed that that's like a big difference with a lot of the girls. Not I wouldn't say a lot of the girls, but a lot of times in some countries, you'll have issues where, not really issues, but just girls aren't really go-getters like that. They don't really want to get it. And it's nothing bad or anything wrong with that. It just depends on how traditional the country is versus how liberal it is. But I'm glad you pointed that out. And I wanted to switch over a little bit to talk a little bit more about the president, because man, this dude has transformed this entire country, bro. My eyes when I came here were wide open. Like even if because remember the other day we was talking about how clean the country is and how you said the last Saturday of every month, everyone goes outside and has to clean.
It's an initiative called Umuganda.
Yeah.
And now this initiative, there's foreigners who've came and they've implemented in their own countries. For example, because when you notice the cleanliness, it's crazy. Like it's mind blowing. Like to a point where like, yo, I want this for my country as well. Like so people have done that so far. Like they've come and then they've implemented the same initiative into their country. And so it's, and the thing is like everybody's on the same page. Even though like we move, like I said, we move slowly, but we're on the same page. We have the same goals. And everybody knows, like we see the vision. There's this thing called, first it was 2020 vision that the government has set. Once we reach 2020, we stretched it out to 2050. So now the new goal is for 2050. We have a vision. City planning is doing everything that by the year 2050 that this is how Kigali's supposed to. This is how all of Rwanda is supposed to look. So man, we're working hard. One of the things that Rwanda really focuses on, I know this is a bit off topic, but it's somehow in the same. The president, he really tries to get foreign direct investment. So that's why you see him out there with the Visit Rwanda everywhere. Like so, and it's good. It's a good tactic because when you get foreign direct investment, you're bringing in different currencies. You're bringing in big money.
Exactly.
And you're bringing in big projects. Innovations and So guys, if you ever see that, Visit Rwanda, that's why. Like, so, and you guys should visit Rwanda.
You should. I'm telling y'all, you won't be disappointed. And I wanted to piggyback off of this because how I see it, because I came here now, man, my eyes are so open. I'm seeing Rwanda as the example for all of Africa, man. Like I'm really, really, really impressed with the country. And I think one thing that we were emphasizing the other day when we was talking about how we can bridge the diaspora, because people like me who have been living in the West, who built the skills, got the resources, how can we bring back those resources and skills into countries like Rwanda to help build a better future for Africa,
Man, it's very, like Rwanda has made it very easy for foreigners to come and start up businesses. With RDB, which is Rwanda Development Board, you go there, within 6 hours, you get your certificate and you can start opening up shop.
Y'all hear that?
6 hours.
6 hours. 6 hours.
So for me, I told you I'm an entrepreneur. So I've ran a couple businesses so far. Currently, I have a gym that's operating, and this is my second business.
What's the name of the gym?
Skyline Fitness.
Y'all need to go check that out. Skyline Fitness, man. If y'all in Rwanda, go check it out.
Man. So like I said, it's super easy to run businesses. As soon as you land, you can just hit up RDB, and then they'll help you with all the stuff, all the documents.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also another thing is I feel like a lot of diaspora they fear that maybe they fear safety.
Yes.
Yes, like is Africa safe?
Yes.
I notice that a lot sometimes because this whole thing that I remember we talked about it not too long ago about the UK and the initiative they have with Rwanda trying to send illegal immigrants to Rwanda.
Yes.
And so and you find that these illegal immigrants, they'll rather choose to stay in a place where they're not wanted, opposed to actually going somewhere that they do want, that they do want their services, and they'll you could help build something,
Yes, yeah.
And so, and I think if people actually took the time to actually think like of the opportunities, like if you think about it, like Africa is like the poorest continent in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously if you have the skill set, you can easily come here and start building stuff.
Yes.
And make money from it.
Exactly.
It's a win-win situation. Like
exactly.
You're gonna make money from it, and you're at the same time gonna be helping people out.
Exactly.
Because they need your services.
Exactly. I wanted to, because that's a good segue to talk about the networking here, bro. It is so easy to network here.
Yes.
Like when we went to that spot that you took me to last night, with the guy that was doing the singing and the rapping, and meeting those guys from the African leadership community, and they were just like, yeah, I know this guy, blah blah. He's a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, and I can link you. And it's just so everything's so fluid. Even when we was at the school, we met the principal so easily. The principal linked us to. It's crazy.
The VIP tickets.
Yeah, the VIP tickets. Oh yeah, y'all don't notice. We was in VIP at the Kendrick Lamar concert. Literally, the section over was the president's daughter section, and it was like completely clear. It was just only her. Like, so imagine we were that close to the president's daughter, and the president was there too as well. And actually, that's another thing too about the Kendrick concert, man. Was when the concert ended. That for me was a moment I never seen ever in my life, where everyone just peacefully walked home.
Yes.
And it was nothing but black people, bro. I just never seen it because bro, you know how it is when we grow up in the States. We're taught to hate each other.
And this is the thing. Like, for example, take a shot of that, like just a picture, right?
Yeah.
And then you give it to like a person in the Western country, like living in Atlanta or something, right?
Yeah.
And then like, what do you think happened within the next 30 minutes? No, for sure they went to a shootout or like a fight.
Right? Every time, always somebody egos get involved, and bro, it was completely calm. It was crazy. Like Rwanda is one of the, I would say, safest countries like I've ever been to. It's really, really nice, man.
And man, like, cause the thing is like, we really, we've been through a lot. Like, people were traumatized. Like, imagine now, like I have my mom who lost about 6 of her siblings during the genocide. Now, imagine, like you guys are a family of 6 boys, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine losing 4 of your brothers.
Yeah. It would kill me.
Over some dumb stuff. Like, so people, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to go through that pain and agony ever again. And so that's why every April, we remorse for the people that we lost. So
it's amazing. What's it called? What's the celebration called, or the remorse called?
It's called man, I would have to.
I'll tell you, you can't think of it. No, it's all good, man. I want to switch over because to stay on this topic, because when we grew up, man, Africans and African Americans did not connect at all. I don't know what it was, bro, but I only connected with people that were outsiders. Like my first best friend was from South Korea. My second best friend was you that I met in America. And bro, it took me until I was in the 5th grade to have a best friend. Like the 5th grade was when I met Daniel Lee, and then he became my best friend. And then we ended up moving, and then that's when I met you. And we clicked like immediately.
And I think for me, I think the reason why like I clicked with you was because I never met anybody who we had so much things in common. It was crazy. I was like, yo, is this guy my twin or what? Like,
it was crazy, bro.
Like, I was like, wait, you're from Africa?
Yeah.
Like you're 13.
Yeah.
You like playing basketball. Like,
Yeah.
You got brothers and you
Yeah.
got family. So it was crazy, man. Like yeah. So we clicked, but it's like, and then the thing is, I took you like as a big brother because you're a lot more like mature than your age.
Yeah.
Like for me, I always felt like you're always more mature than your actual age.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, it's always been like that, man. So I looked up to you like as someone to guide me because I was in a place where you're sort of like a minority.
Yeah.
And because of your skin color, and also because of being foreign, this is automatic. You can feel that. People are the way people look at you, the way people talk to you. You sort of like feel as if you have to really protect yourself as well as like mentally. Yeah. To the point where you need for when I was in the States, I didn't have the luxury of living with my dad full time. He would come and go back to. He would come right back to Rwanda. Mm-hmm. So I sort of lacked like a father figure, and I think that's why I was always around your family because imagine like for me it was sort of the opposite of what you guys had because the oldest was a girl in my family. Yeah. Second oldest, a girl again. Yeah. Then my brother. Yeah. And but then my mom as well. So imagine it's like 3 girls. Yeah, right? Yeah. That that are leading the household. Yeah. But then I go to your place. Yeah. It's all men, and boys running around. I was like, this is where I need to be at most of the time. Because you need that father figure around, and that's not to say my dad wasn't around. He was definitely there. He provided for us. Yeah. But just being able to see the way your dad was raising you guys. Yeah. Like, I literally felt like I was the 7th brother. Yeah. That's how we like to make people feel, in our home. Like for me, bro, you've always been family, bro. To be honest with you, man. I respect that. I even give credit to everybody in your family, man, because everybody in your family was always like, they were different, man. You guys, you moved different. You didn't follow like any trend, it was never like this pretentious thing where, like always dressed well, always talked well, had manners. And that's the type of people you want around at all times, Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Then you talk about your dad, man, and just being here in Rwanda, man, I'm just like, man, what a kingdom he built.
Yes.
Man, that guy is an incredible human being. Yes. Like what he did for y'all, like I'm just seeing like everything, from all the different businesses and everything. It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Yes. And even like taking y'all to the States, letting y'all get educated over there too, funding that too as well. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, so my dad, man, he had a really like entrepreneurial mindset. And one of the things he always talked about was ownership. Yeah. I remember at a very young age, he told us like, look, he sat us down and was like, look, guys, I get it. People have to make money by working for others. Yeah. But let me tell you something. I don't ever want to hear you guys working for somebody. I want you guys to own your own stuff. Yeah. So he tried to implement that at a very young age. For us, we didn't understand because American culture, you can get a good paying job and just be comfortable off of that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't mind working for people. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for him, it was like, but why not employ others? Mm-hmm. Why work for someone when you can create something and now you're the one giving out the job? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that's for him. That's how it always was, and that sort of mindset. That's what he grew up on, and from buying, from having his own different companies already, and then also buying his own property. Yeah, everything was ownership. Everything was his. Yeah, and then as I got older, when I started noticing on certain there's forms that he would have to fill out, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then on the part where it says occupation, what's your occupation? Yeah. he, you know, it was, are you an engineer, doctor, this and that?
Yeah.
He would always have to write self-employed. And I was like, wait, okay, you know, because no other dads weren't writing self-employed all the time. Like, I noticed like, okay, what does that mean? That's why I started like trying to get to like, why is he always writing like self-employed? Because then it was always like the last thing on the list.
On the list,
A, B, C, D, and then there was the last one, self-employed. And like, okay.
Hey bro, I'm Just Trolling is something that will not just challenge your perspective, but also touch your heart and soul. It's a book that defies convention, blending art and literature into a thought-provoking masterpiece. A reflective piece of provocative art that tackles societal constructs from angles you've never considered. Hey bro, I'm Just Trolling delves into the very essence of our existence. It questions the technology that surrounds us, challenges our notions of beauty, stares unflinchingly into the eyes of death, and questions the boundaries of freedom. It scrutinized the educational system that molds our very future. This book is a journey, an exploration of shared human experience, and it's a work of art that refuses to be confined by tradition. It's a canvas painted with words, a melody of thought, and a testament to the power of creativity in a world dominated by algorithms and data. Visit moonboycapitalventures.com and get your hands on Hey Bro, I'm Just Trolling today. It's not just a book, it's a movement. Now let's jump back into the show.
Yeah, so he put you all on, man. Yeah, and it's crazy because like on the flip side, you know, our dads were really there, but in two different types of ways, you know, because my dad was also there, and you know, obviously he wasn't there every single day, and he couldn't go to my basketball games and stuff like that. But you know, he was there, he was present, and he did the best he could. You know, he wasn't the best entrepreneur, even still, he still kind of struggles with that. But overall, I would say that at the end of the day, he did everything. He gave us all the basic necessities that we needed, you know, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. And that's sort of thing. Like for me, like I'm also a dad. Yeah. And as I'm learning, like I'm, you know, if there's one thing that I want to provide my kid with, it's not gonna be money. It's not what I'm trying to. I'm not trying to just throw money at him. Yeah. I want to give him the tools that he's going to need to make that money. Yes. Right? And I think that starts with education. Yeah. Like if I can get him educated at an early age, and even not just educated, but to the skill to love to learn. I feel like that's a skill in itself. Like to really love to learn. Not that many people love learning. Yes. Like there's very few people that actually like love and actually take the time out to like go out and learn. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're right. So if I can teach him that, then that'll be more than enough for me. Like
absolutely, man. And I wanted to switch over a little bit to the cost of living here.
Yes.
Because it's a huge topic, especially from our audience too as well. So what would you say is a good amount of money to make for, let's say, a family of 4? What would be a good amount, and versus a person that's single, like a good amount of money that you would say that you don't have to really worry about money. You can live pretty comfortably here, living in a nice apartment or living in a nice area and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm thinking, okay, let me tell you, starting with the average. Yeah. The average Rwandan makes around, close to around $250 to $300 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the average paying salary. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine now, if you have a job that's paying $1,000 and above, you're living lavish. Yeah. Yes, you're living lavish. So, So
y'all hear that, man? Just $1,000 a month, man.
Yeah. You take, okay. So it's so simple. Like I have cousins who, as soon as they landed these jobs, paying $1,000 and above, they started buying property. You buy property within 2-3 years. Yeah. You build up that, instead of like, I know we talked about this earlier. Mm-hmm. You want to buy property as well. Yes. You want to pay rent.
Exactly.
So, so these guys, they did the same thing. They would stay in very small rental places where they'll pay maybe like $200, but their salary's up in the millions and above. Like million Rwandan francs.
Yeah, million Rwandan francs. Yeah,
a million Rwandan francs.
It's like 1,000.
Yes, almost equivalent to 1,000.
Yeah.
So like they're making $1 million and above, but they're staying in a place where they're paying like $80,000. very strategic, right?
Yeah.
80,000, they pay for like another 80,000 for the food, or 100,000, however much. And then the rest of the money, you build up a house, you buy all the materials that you need, the foundation and everything. So, you build up one property, you put it up for you put it on Airbnb, and then you put it up for rent. People pay, you make money from it. Do the same thing again. You go in a small place, you rent it out, use the money to build up property. Now you have a business going. Real estate business,
It's really good. But what about the credit system? Is credit big here? Do people pull out credit?
You can get credit, but man, with credit, me personally, like I said, my dad, we really would have some father and son time where we sit down and talk, and he never really liked getting credit. He always feared getting credit. So to be in debt, man, yes, like I get how some people can say that credit is good. But at the same time, that to be in debt, man, like I don't think it's safe. It's not safe because you can lose a lot.
That's true.
And so for me, I just prefer not to be in credit, and I just use what I have, what I'm making at that time, and then I'll use my money wisely, and I'll make the right investments.
What about the healthcare here? Like, how is that?
The healthcare is pretty good. One of the things that they really cater to the lower class, like the low income citizens who don't make much. They get like practically free like healthcare. It's like free healthcare, because I remember when I had my kid, there's a sort of an elite hospital called King Faisal. And with this hospital, I think to give birth would have been like over a couple 100,000. Now guess the hospital
francs, right?
Around 1,000 francs. And now because my girlfriend, she had health insurance, and guess how much we paid for the labor?
Maybe process. like 10,000 francs.
No, probably like 1,000.
1,000 francs? That's $1.
Yeah, 1,000. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I was like,
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, like, it's not even like they're like, they have legit doctors, like foreigners, like, or are the ones who are actually working there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's probably like, I'm guessing it's sort of some NGO that they work with. But it was nice. It was nice seeing that.
Yeah. What about the because I want to shift a little bit over to the taxis and the transportation and everything, right?
Yes.
So I've had a couple of experiences, right? As you know, we've been riding the motorcycles and stuff. I don't want to knock the motorcycle taxi riding, but what I would say is just be cautious, especially because they usually try to upcharge foreigners.
Yes.
And you made a great point too as well, saying that they'll upcharge you depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So like when we were coming from the Kendrick Lamar concert, they were trying to charge higher prices, right? Yeah.
And with like, the way they do it is like, they don't even care. Like, they just throw up a number out. They're like,
10,000. What was it, like 1,000 yesterday?
Imagine literally like we're at a place where we could, if we walked, we would have been there within 3 minutes. Right. And this guy's charging us 2,000. Where another guy, when we literally like we continued on, another guy charged us the right amount, which is I think about 400.
Right?
Exactly. Now, that's 5 times.
The price.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't hate because okay, guys. So you're gonna have to deal with negotiations when you're here. Don't think that you're gonna be able to come here and not have to negotiate. Like that stuff is gonna happen, and you just got to kind of be aware of it. And if you don't like negotiation, then you should probably not try, Rwanda. But I actually like it because I actually feel more fulfilled when I negotiate the price down to the price that I want, versus like a fixed price every single time in the West, where it's like, damn, these shoes cost $200 and I can't do anything about it. Yeah.
That's 100% true. 100% true. Like, if you don't like negotiating, that means you're gonna have to buy from the stores.
Yeah.
Right. Now
Yeah.
you can't get it at the supermarkets, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
supermarkets. Yeah.
And those prices are crazy. Or like the shopping centers.
Yeah.
Those prices are crazy.
Yeah.
But now, if you can go to the local market, and then you can get that same item for literally like 3 times less the price that you're gonna buy.
Yeah. It just makes more sense to just get it done at the local market.
Yeah.
You know, but it's very similar too as well. Like in Bulgaria, they have these local markets too. I always tell you that Eastern Europe is very similar to Africa.
Yeah.
There's so many similarities. I'm gonna actually make a separate video on that because I'm like, man, this is super, super relatable.
Yeah.
But what about the mailing system?
The mailing system, as in just like mailing.
Mailing stuff. Like if you want to mail your stuff over, like, what do you use? DHL?
We have DHL in town. Yeah, and me personally, that's the one I always use. But then there's other mailing systems. But I think the most common one is definitely DHL. Yeah, and then with money, Western Union and stuff like that.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed too as well is the smoking culture isn't so big here.
No.
Yeah, people just don't.
They don't.
It's not like Europe. Yeah. It's really, really good, man.
And it's also because of how they portray you. It's a culture thing.
Yeah.
And it's different with the States. Like, people are just so used to smoking.
Yeah.
They're so used to seeing people smoke. They don't even mind it. Like, you know, like here, like if a parent sees you smoking, man, they think like you're like a rapper maybe, or or a drug dealer. Smoking a cigarette. Right?
Like, what the hell are you doing? You know, you try to kill yourself. You know.
Yeah. So it
doesn't make any sense.
So it's the way people perceive it. They just associate it with something that's like very bad and just you know. Yeah.
What about the social media culture here? Like, how is it? Is it similar to the West?
Man, let me tell you, with social media, I feel like it's something that's slowly growing.
Yeah.
But because I think, you know, when you're in poverty, like, it's not the same as when you're just living lavish and got all this free time to burn, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you gotta go, you gotta feed your stomach, you gotta feed your family, you gotta, you know.
Yeah.
So you're just so preoccupied with different things. Like, you don't have that time to, you know, make videos on TikTok and, you know, even, and also another thing is that you also, it's a great platform to make money.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong. It's extremely good to make money off of it, but now you have to be educated in that sense of, okay, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
You have to know the know-hows on how to make money from that.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people, they don't take the time to actually figure out how to use it, you know, like in a strategic way to make money from it. They're just like on there, you know, watching the videos rather than actually using these platforms.
Yeah, actually, I have an interesting theory about that. I think I talked to you about it too, where I say that we're transitioning from where the only 2 ways you can make money is through capital or through labor. Right. And we're switching over to more content and code, where you need to be able to either leverage content or make content, or leverage someone else's platform, right, for marketing purposes, or make content yourself, or you need to, same with the code, either know how to leverage the code, you know, the chat GPTs, the blockchain technology, you know, artificial intelligence, all this stuff, or you need to be able to code the things yourself to build the new layers of the internet that's happening right now. So I call it the digital renaissance.
Yes. And by the way, I'm super stoked because I'm interested in reading it, because I remember you mentioned you're going to write a blog. A blog, right?
Yeah, about the digital renaissance. Yes. I'm calling it the Great Squeeze.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. Because like I said, like that's exactly where we're headed towards, and it's evident everywhere you go. Like the
writing's on the wall.
The writing's on the wall, and then that's why, like, I feel like it's so important to get the young people on this while it's still early.
Yes. Absolutely, man.
Like, and the thing is with young students, they can soak in information way better than older people, because their brains are so active at that age. If you tell them, okay, this is what the world's gonna need, this is how you're gonna be able to reach those goals and and be involved in the economy. Like,
yeah, absolutely. And when you look at the landscape currently right now in terms of demographic, right, how I see it is, okay, the fertility rates are going down in the West, and there's becoming labor shortages of highly skilled workers. Africa is increasing in population at a rapid pace, and it's mainly the youth. Yes, right? Yes. So the labor is going to have to be outsourced to Africa. Yes. So I emphasize, that's why, like, I think about bridging the diaspora, of our diaspora connecting, coming back and teaching those skills to the young Africans who are going to have to be the ones to be able to build the next layer of technology, you know, for the internet and for everything that's going on right now in the technological landscape. I call it the exponential growth phase of technological advancement, you know? So Africa needs to be at the forefront of that. And so we need to emphasize building them these particular skills in these artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and et cetera.
Yeah. And just one quick thing, like, take for example, in Taiwan. Yeah. Taiwan is the only country right now manufacturing semiconductors. Yes. Right? These GPUs. And NVIDIA chips are really what's running these AI models. Yes. So, like, if we can get ourselves more educated in sort of things of engineering, and that's why I focus so much on STEM education. Yeah. Science, technology,
engineering,
mathematics. So we really need to implement these things while the window's still open.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Because we still have time and we have so much potential. Like you just said, like literally 60% of Africa is under the age of 30.
I know.
Can you imagine?
I know. It's crazy.
Imagine what you can do with that.
Yeah, exactly.
With that kind of population.
Exactly. And I think that's the goal for Africa. I was explaining it to, some of the people at the African Leadership Foundational Community yesterday when we were speaking with them about the importance of entrepreneurship and ownership, like your dad said. Because if we can build out these systems and, business vehicles in the West, and then hire Africans, get them good wages. Imagine you can hire 1,000 workers, you pay them $1,000 each, what that does for them to be able to save and also have more purchasing power within the economy. So then businesses get more fueled and it causes circular economy of the money and the wealth starting to get redistributed back into Africa. And I think that's what the future of Africa needs to look like. And there's some bottlenecks, obviously, like for instance, I mentioned yesterday too, when we were talking about, the fact that you flying from one country to another neighboring country, you pay like $500. Yes. And this is ridiculous because in Europe, they've solved that issue, right? And so if we can come together to sort of make this stuff cheaper for us to be able to communicate and transport with one another through the tariffs, through, transport, make it simple, easy, efficient, and cheap, man, it'll accelerate growth in Africa tenfold,
I agree. That's why they really focus on this free trade agreement in Africa, like so that trading can be facilitated, But now to where, imagine 54 different countries. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's a lot of countries all in one. That's a lot of different governments. Yeah. Right? A lot of different policies, right? Yeah. So
but the EU was able to somehow do it. Europe was able to do it.
I get that. But now it's the thing. History, when there was this moment in history where Europe literally came and divided and conquered all of Africa. Yeah. The scramble for Africa. Yeah. And that's what really messed us up. And that's what those sort of things still has effect on us today, to this day. Yeah. So that's why, for me, I think the best way to really leverage us is to get us educated. Yeah. Right? Through education. Yeah. Right? If you get the people educated, now that gives us more the capability of being innovative and using technologies to, to solve problems. Yeah. Create employment. Yeah. Once you create, it's a cycle. You create, you become an entrepreneur. Yeah. You employ people, you give them jobs, you give them opportunity. Now those people, they use that money to put their kids through to education. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Better education, smarter kids, and the cycle continues again.
Exactly.
That student now, he grows up, he builds up a business, he employs more people.
Exactly.
Those people get educated.
Yeah.
You know, like, so.
Yeah, you're right. Education is the most important thing. And one of the issues, one of the issues that I see, bro, is in some areas in Africa, they have children working.
Yes.
And that's an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
Because when the child is working, he's not in school.
Right.
When he's not in school, eventually when that job goes away, he doesn't have an actual wanted in-demand skill set that he can leverage to further help the economy and help himself and help his family. You know, because the higher the skill, the more you can get paid. The more you can get paid, the more that they can redistribute into taxes and also into that circular economy. You have more purchasing power. You're going to want to spend more. You're going to be able to save more. When you save more, you're going to be able to buy property. You're going to be able to, it's going to fuel everything. You're going to be able to invest into, you know, and also these consortiums where you can get together, everyone gets their money together and then buys a building, you know, like the one that's behind us here, you know?
Yeah. So, and also, I know this is a topic that you like to get into, but over these past few days, man, you've been, you know, really, you've been inspiring me, like, about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all that. And now, like, as we sit down, I can tell you now some of the things that came up across my mind, like, Bitcoin in Africa. I know you mentioned it like as like globally, like how it can be helpful, but now thinking in terms of what it could do just for Africa. Because you see now in Africa, a lot of the government officials, they're not elected officials; they're appointed.
Yes.
Right. So this, if you have a system where it's sort of like abstractions of like layers of abstractions, right? Yeah. And now you have the Federal Reserves. They make the policy, right? Then you have the financial institutions, you have the banks and all that. Those are all layers of abstractions, right? Yeah. And with these leaders, they're just like sort of like they're puppets. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Just doing as they're told.
Yes.
Now, what I think Bitcoin is, from what you've mentioned so far, there's no layers of abstraction.
Yes.
Like, it's just like
decentralized
where you can go there now. You can, you
participate in a network.
Say something. You can get your money without any restrictions. And
exactly.
So
it's all through code.
Yeah.
And it's the thing, again, tying back to my point of content and code.
Yes.
So I think as a way, Bitcoin was created as a checks and balance against the monetary systems that we have currently. And I think that's one way we can fight corruption, right? Imagine money is just something that the government decided to trick us and market us into saying that it has intrinsic value for goods and services, right? If we change the medium of exchange as a free market into something that's more decentralized and more inclusive instead of exclusive, right? You can change the complete landscape of the society, right? Because that's a way you could rebel silently. Instead of, like what Valentine was talking about the other day, where he said these students were protesting, because the policies and stuff that were happening in Nigeria, and the government came with the military and wiped them all out with machine guns.
Imagine.
Jeez. And so imagine if they could just protest quietly, like, you know what? I'm tapping out of this system. I'm gonna go to a more fair, inclusive system that nobody controls, anyone can join, and everyone can just accept and have this hyper-Bitcoinization type of society and ecosystem where you just go up to a local market and you just tap your phone and then you pay in Satoshis. And so that way you're crippling the government. And so maybe then they'll start paying attention, right? Into understanding that, they're supposed to be, the government was set up to serve the people. And now the way the system's set up, the people are serving the government. And so for us to be able to change that, I see this as one technological tool that we can leverage to be able to free us from corruption, even though there's not so much corruption in Rwanda, in a lot of, if you look at like Nigeria, bro, it's a lot of corruption in a lot of these areas, but how can you blame them? When you don't have the basic necessities of Maslow's theory of hierarchical needs, what are you supposed to do when you don't have the basic safety, the basic food, the basic water? What are you supposed to do?
And that's why you see a lot of these wars going on.
Yeah.
You wonder, how is it possible that this person is coming from these soldiers, these militias?
Yeah.
They're very poor.
Yeah.
Extremely poor. Like really like, okay, they barely have food to to feed their family.
Facts.
But yet they're going around with AK-47s, that cost thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, how do you get these guns?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so now you know that there's something wrong with the system. Like,
exactly.
Obviously somebody's is funding them.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And why are they funding them? Because war is money.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's messed up, man.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things about Africa. And of course, when you're having war in a country, that messes it up for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not just
it's bad for business.
It's not just that country that's getting affected by it.
Yeah. But someone's always profiting, at the end of the day.
Someone's always profiting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man.
But obviously whoever is profiting from it is a bad person.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, I think we'll close it off here, man. Do you have any closing thoughts before we go?
No, man. Okay. So earlier you asked me the name for the Rwandan. It's just the commemoration. Yeah, for the genocide. Rwandan genocide commemoration that always takes place every April.
Yeah,
I held it with me. I was like, okay, I'll say that in the video.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes I'll forget things, but then I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So other than that, man, like I really enjoyed the conversation, man.
Yeah.
This is actually my first time on a podcast that's going to be, aired on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And I can't wait to watch it as well.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to watch it either, man. This has been a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
Dude, thank you for telling me to come here and open my eyes, man. It's been, like I said, one of the most eye-opening and greatest experiences I've had so far ever in my life. And I'm so happy I came here and got to see and witness what's happening here. It's because it's greatness. Yeah. I can feel it. There's a shift happening. You can smell it. Yeah.
And listen, man, this is one of the things that shows the kind of person you've always been, man. A man of your word. I remember just like when you told me like, you told me like, because I knew we kept talking about it. I was like, man, this guy really gonna come all the way to Rwanda? Like, and you're like, just tell me when is it a good time to come? I was like, okay, December, I guess. Like, I was thinking maybe maybe this guy's actually being serious. Next thing you know, you sent me a screenshot of the ticket. Like,
I was like, I got a book.
I was like, saying I know, man. So man, it's an honor, man, to have you here. In my hometown, it just shows, you're a true man of your word, man. And, never change for anybody, and just stay who you've always been, man. Like,
I appreciate that, man. We'll close it off there, man.
Appreciate it, my guy.
Yeah, appreciate you, my brother. Take care.
Never. You ain't never had a friend like me. Believe that. 'Cause you ain't never had a friend like me. See, at night I watch the sky, I take another breath, I smoke my Newport to the butt like it's the last motherfucker left. Just me and you evading enemies, let you get my last shot of Hennessy. Ain't never had a friend like me. Remember memories so vividly. Was once a little dust kicker, now becomes a G. Who can I call when they all fail? Collect calls to my dogs from the county jail, sending me mail, heard the blocks in the same shape. Ain't nothing changed, niggas slanging at the same place. The same faces, supposed to always hate our foes. This lifestyle is forever, watch the game unfold. Shedding crocodile tears, just got life plus. And you wonder if these white judges like us. Just stay strong, we'll appeal, nigga, you'll be free. Down with you to the very end, 'cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, 'cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, 'cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, 'cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, 'cause you ain't never had a friend like me. How can I be blamed? Forgive me, Lord, I'm insane. In search of fame, won't hurt to change. Following the footsteps of past dealers. Equipped with ski masks, no witnesses, we blast squillers. Maybe now they feel us in this act of war. More casualties, no survivors. Any man that defies quickly dies. 'Cause we ride us in my quest for chips. We wear vests equipped with automatic fire. We reply when my enemies trip. Me and you against the nation. Whispering while we conversating. 'Cause niggas died over information. How much more can we take? Expect us all to break, the world ain't ready for us yet, so let's make Clinton pay. They never wanted us to make it. Everything that we possess, we had to fight and take it. I think the president is smoking weed, bumping this beat, making a living out my misery. So they got a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Promise to visit, I know it's rough in your cell, receiving mail to the county jail. This is hell. When I was younger, I could picture living in luxury, so how the fuck did I end up in prison? Fucking niggas that got me crossed by my own side. I found him by himself, no drama, he alone died. Nobody cried, should've never testified. You got my nigga 25, so now I sacrifice your life. Help to separate me and my dog. Broken ties, why the fuck should I let you live? When I'm dead inside, rapid fire my delivery. I'm busting at your whole crew, nigga, remember me? Hit up my outlaw set, then throw my pistol in the ocean. Ditch my ski mask and get the straight coasting. It's visiting day at San Quentin, always there to see your closest road dog. Cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. I'm down for you, so ride with me. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Come after us, let's be complete. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Come after us, let's be complete. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me. Nobody knows where we'll be. My enemies, your enemies, cause you ain't never had a friend like me.